Imagine your muscles as a safety net for your body, a reservoir that catches and stores energy when you need it most. Now, what happens when that safety net starts to weaken? And could that weakening be connected to something as serious as diabetes? This isn't just a hypothetical question. The link between losing muscle mass and developing diabetes is a growing area of research, and understanding it could change the way we think about managing and preventing chronic diseases. Let's start with the basics. Your muscles are one of the largest energy-consuming tissues in your body. They play a critical role in regulating your blood sugar levels, a process known as glucose metabolism. After you eat and your body breaks down food into glucose, your muscles help clear it out of your bloodstream by absorbing it and using it for energy. In fact, healthy muscle tissue is incredibly efficient at lowering blood sugar levels, effectively acting as your personal glucose sponge. Now, here's where the problem begins. As you lose muscle, whether from aging, inactivity, or illness, this sponge starts to dry up. Less muscle tissue means your body has fewer resources to handle and store glucose. And what happens when glucose builds up in your bloodstream? Your risk for developing type 2 diabetes begins to climb. In fact, healthy muscle tissue is incredibly efficient at lowering blood sugar levels, effectively acting as your personal glucose sponge. Now, here's where the problem begins. As you lose muscle, whether from aging, inactivity, or illness, this sponge starts to dry up. Less muscle tissue means your body has fewer resources to handle and store glucose. And what happens when glucose builds up in your bloodstream? Your risk for developing type 2 diabetes begins to climb. It's a vicious cycle, too. High blood sugar levels can damage the structures of your muscle cells over time, impairing their ability to function properly. On top of that, insulin resistance, the hallmark of type 2 diabetes, makes it harder for your muscles to respond to insulin's signal to absorb glucose. In short, your muscles and your body's ability to manage blood sugar become locked in a downward spiral. But why does muscle loss happen in the first place? Aging is a big factor. After the age of 30, most people experience gradual muscle decline, also known as sarcopenia. However, inactivity, poor nutrition, and long-term stress can accelerate this process. Worryingly, medical conditions such as obesity or metabolic disorders can also cause muscle wasting, closing the gap between muscle loss and diabetes even further. So what can you do to break the cycle? The good news is, it's never too late to take action. Strength training is one of the most effective ways to rebuild lost muscle and improve insulin sensitivity. Even a few sessions of resistance exercise each week have been shown to help regulate blood sugar and reverse some of the adverse effects of muscle loss. Pair that with good nutrition, especially protein-rich foods and balanced diets, and your body has the resources it needs to maintain muscle health and combat metabolic challenges. By understanding the critical role muscle tissue plays in your metabolism, you can shift your perspective on diabetes prevention. It's about more than just managing your weight or your diet. It's about maintaining strength, resilience, and the ability to stay active. So the next time you hear someone talk about muscles as just a fitness goal,